Now you will be well aware of the many talents of Alan Titchmarsh, chat show host and, after his interview with David Cameron yesterday, political interrogator. But it is, of course, as Britain's favourite gardener that he's best known and loved.
Well, this morning the Alan effect was being felt in Essex, where he was opening a new part of the famous garden at Hyde Hall near Chelmsford. And it was there that he spoke to me about that interview and his incredible appeal as the housewife's choice. I'm not jealous, really.
All you need is a bit of decking and some blue paint and it's not a problem. But I have to say, this is the finest shed I've ever seen.
Back on familiar turf the day after his interview with the Conservative leader took Alan Titchmarsh from the lifestyle section to the front pages.
Best qualities of yours, what do you think they are? You're allowed to be completely immodest now. Best qualities.
Well, have you ever met an immodest politician? What a sort of strange thing.
His style more peaceful than Paxman, and that's just how he likes it.
Sometimes in what you might call soft interviews, you learn much more than you do when you're going in with all guns blazing and being aggressive, and they're just being defensive. And I just wanted to learn a bit more about him, and I hope by the end of sort of 10, 12 minutes we just thought, oh, I see. Some of those quick-fire questions, you know, M&S or Primark, you learn quite a lot from those.
It's X Factor or Strictly, then?
X Factor.
Oh, right. Lily Allen or Lady Gaga?
Lily Allen.
Mischievous one there.
Well, I've got into trouble before about Lily Allen, so I think I'll leave it at that.
And judging by the response of the audience at Hyde Hall, our politicians could take a leaf or two out of the book of the man drawing comparisons with one of East Anglia's finest.
He's the Delia Smith of cooking. Alan, everything he writes is right. You know it's right, you do it and it works perfectly.
He's very down to earth. He's like us, you know, he's very approachable.
Now, is everybody smiling and looking happy?
He's just easygoing. It's just lovely to listen to, I think.
Few politicians could learn from him, couldn't they?
Yes,
absolutely.
They could, definitely.
They're very kind. I mean, I've been involved in what I suppose is a fairly inoffensive and maybe benign pursuit, gardening, which doesn't sort of threaten anybody.
But as far as adding the title of politician to his growing list, probably not. But he does have a message for whoever gets in at the next general election, and who would want to ignore the advice of the mighty Titch.
Because law and order, health and education are rightly thought to be the three most important things. Gardening impinges on all those. It's healthy being outside. We take the strain off the National Health Service. We're better tempered, therefore we're less likely to come into contact with the law. And by learning about how plants grow, we're better educated to sort out our planet, and that for me is the most important thing. But the biggest thing is it's also great fun. So come and enjoy Hyde Hall. It gives me great pleasure, and I do hope these shears work. To declare it open. Yes. Pleasure. Thank you very much. Pleasure.
He was awesome, I have to say.
You fell in love with him a bit today, didn't you?
I wouldn't quite go that far, but...
He hasn't stopped talking about him all afternoon.
He was the only person I've ever known who's talking about loam, and at that point, ladies just, oh, loam, oh, Alan.
I did notice there were lots of men there as well.
They were, yeah, but that's just like me, a little bit jealous of it. That's what we're just trying to learn the tips, really, of the masterful Titchmarsh.
He's loved by all. And you can see the whole of Jonathan's interview with Alan Titchmarsh on our website
you can
at
also,
itv.com.
Yes. Oh, sorry, yeah, you get that bit in first, and I'll say the rest of it, shall I?
itv.com/Anglia.
There you can also watch items from the programme, plus there's a full weather forecast for the Anglia region as well. Sorry about that.
Now, an extraordinary thing happened today. Hundreds and hundreds of people, possibly even thousands, turned out for the opening of a new level crossing in North Norfolk.
Well, not only that, it was opened by the record producer Pete Waterman. Natalie Gray's in Sheringham for us tonight. So, Natalie, tell us what exactly was going on there today.
Well, you wouldn't know it from now, but earlier today this platform was stuffed full of people. In fact, the whole of Sheringham was stuffed full of people. And it was all because of the opening of a level crossing. Why, you might ask, would that attract so many people? Well, it's because for the first time in nearly half a century, a passenger train has been able to travel all the way from London and continue through this station and along the line to Holt. It was pulled by a special locomotive, and as you say, Pete Waterman was the special celebrity guest.
Here he comes. Oh, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Hey! This is it. 43 years of waiting, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, it's been 46 years since a passenger train used this level crossing in Sheringham. Quite a day. And the whole town, and half the county, it seemed, turned out to see it. And this was no ordinary passenger train. It was the mighty Britannia steam loco Oliver Cromwell. On August the 11th, 1968, she hauled British Rail's very last steam train, ending an era that stretched back to 1804. The new level crossing over Cromer Road in Sheringham reconnects the North Norfolk Railway Preservation Line with the National Rail Network for the first time in nearly half a century.
Well, I've opened a few things, but level crossings is a first. This is the first official level crossing opening I've ever done. The Queen wasn't available this weekend, so I've popped down to do it for her.
It's been a dream to reunite the railway and get as far as Cromer. One of these days we might even have our trains running as far as Cromer.
The Oliver Cromwell set out from London this morning. On board Lucky Devil are reporter Stuart Leeds, who spoke to some equally lucky passengers.
It's a very memorable occasion for me today, because as a boy I used to go to Bressingham Gardens and ride on the footplate of this particular train. So actually I've been travelling on it nearly 50 years later. It's a wonderful day.
Very honoured, actually, quite surprisingly, but no, really looking forward to actually going across it. It should be a good day.
Great effort by everybody concerned, so I want to be there to help celebrate it.
At 2:15, she huffed and puffed into Sheringham. Among the crowds of thousands was 86-year-old Ray Powell, who worked as a fireman on board the Oliver Cromwell when it used to run between Norwich and London and back again.
Very nice, but I come all over a cold sweat when I see it. Used to get black.
And hot?
Yes, my wife, she'll tell you she used to pull my shirts off. When I got home, I couldn't pull them off, could I? I'd stuck to my back.
But back to Pete Waterman, not only a rail enthusiast, but the man behind some of the biggest pop hits of the last 3 decades. He is to write and produce our Eurovision Song Contest entry.
I think we've written 50 songs, I think. Well, you know, it's like you think, is that right? No, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with that. People think it's easy. It isn't easy.
But who would he like to sing it?
Kylie Minogue.
I'm not sure that's allowed, but she did cover the song Locomotion, the perfect song for a day like today.
So a big day in the seaside town of Sheringham, and if this has made you all a bit nostalgic, then don't worry, because a steam gala starts here tomorrow for the next 3 days. You can see plenty more steam trains, a great Western engine that used to haul coal from the South Wales coalfields, and also some bowler-hatted commuters on some carriages from the 20s. And as they say, much, much more. Come along, I've had the best day.
How could you not? And after that, Natalie, thank you very much indeed. Right, now with details of what's coming up on the news at 6:30, here's Alan. Quick reminder, we want more of your Mother's Day messages. Get them into us quickly.
Yes, Jonathan and Becky at itv.com. We've had some lovely ones already. Thanks.
Some more for tomorrow for you. Until tomorrow then.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. Couldn't miss it, would you?
Let's get the weather now. Here's Amanda Houston.